game in this brand new regional, in this brand new split. Stumpy Goblin, can things get more exciting than they are right now?
Don't think so. I'm so hyped for this entire event because we keep saying how big, these roster changes are. North America was so much fun last weekend, and they've already done their roster changes. We saw how incredibly that went for them at the Winter Major in LA. They took it. They absolutely decimated everything that Europe could really put forward, apart from now the Moist roster. I think that this is Europe's chance to really show off what we can do, what those roster moves and learning from North America can do for a region. And these are two teams that are going to be showcasing that wonderfully.
Well, we're going to see which one of these two is going to make the fastest start with their brand new player. We've got Exotic slotting in for SMPR, the fully French roster now. He's done so much in his time as Exotic. Has got the capability to win a series single-handedly. And then Nolly for Karmine Corp. He was seemingly turning into a bit of a forgotten player back in his guild days. Gets dropped and gets picked up by an org that have such loftier ambitions than we've seen from them so far. So plenty to fight to for both of these, but a slightly nervy start as Nolly puts that one to the side for Astral.
Yeah, I think Nolly is a very interesting character because we saw in summer last year, you were looking at Guild as one of the best teams in Europe. We looked at them towards the end of RLCS X, maybe closer towards the start of 2021. And we think, that they can be going to major events and they can be showing off what they can do for the international crowd. And we just never really saw that. Nolly was always a pretty consistent character on Guild. And so then for him to be dropped, I think is a very big statement. I'm intrigued to see just how well Guild do out of it. But I think Karmine Corp have got a great pickup in him. We've already seen just what that synergy is like between him and Astral in previous events when they played in the Dacia Spring Electric event. They did really well in that. I believe they came third, or fourth, but brilliant outing from them. So far, though, they really are being put under a vice by SMPR.
I mean, SMPR are putting on pressure, but they are very close to each other on the pitch. A couple of times we've seen Exotic. Again there, Exotic had the ball. And then in flew, I think it was Casio, just to double down. So far it's working for SMPR, but they have to be very careful, especially when there's counterattacks like this. Astral, the man of a million mechanics, ain't missing that one.
But look at Casio. Why did he had to stop and turn around really uglily?
It was uglily.
It was very, very uglily. He could have just really tapped that to the corner, just done a handbrake turn. Instead, he got massively in his own head and didn't really do much from it. And Astral able to get that first goal in the Dacia Spring Cup. Fantastic from them. Our opening goal in just what is going to be a phenomenally exciting spring event.
So far, the 65% looking pretty good with their prediction as Itachi flies in onto the backboard. That one goes. And Astral, again, he's not doing too much, but he doesn't have to do that much.
Yeah, when they're winning, you're going to be looking at KC to be keeping those vibes up. And the pass from Itachi, just allowing Astral to go for a touch low. Underneath short set as well, where there were two defenders, neither of them able to get that touch. KC taking that 2-goal lead. It's a position where SMPR won't want to be seeing KC in. When they feel confident and happy and that they can win, that is when Astral especially looks very scary.
Good to see Itachi getting involved in the assists as well. When he came through for FC Barcelona way back when, he put so many passes onto his teammate Roniki. They just looked formidable at times. And now he's got Astral and Nolly to play with. KC are looking absolutely possessed right now.
Yeah, I mean, Exotic with a really poor touch, getting the ball away from him. And Nolly passing central to his equally freshly decaled player, Itachi. Both of them rocking the KC decal available in the Esports shop. Really like that. We love seeing the players rock their own decals. Astral is using a card that literally can't use it, and therefore I don't hate him for it. But using that, I think it's the Mac-E meta.
Good knowledge. And it's also good knowledge from Exotic to go for that one right there. It was good dribbling play from Chaussette. For once, SMPR were given some space, and when Chaussette has that, he is able to use it.
It's not the Mac-E. I really thought I had it there, but it's not. It's just a different car. I have no idea what that car is. I'm sorry if it's a brand that I should know. That is fully on me. But a good the fact that SMPR have been able to get a goal is going to be stopping that bleeding, trying to stop the train rolling from KC. Astral being able to dive back on that ball. All three commit Itachi with a very weak shot, just hands it straight back to them. And Nolly finding Astral, that's high again. And Nolly, look at him just keep that control. Will secure that flip, isn't going to be able to use it in any meaningful way. But it was just that push from KC. It started to go wrong, and then they gripped it back and maintained control.
Yeah, it was slightly awkward defending there from SMPR, but they got away with it, and that's the most important thing of all. If chances are going against you, and you're still staying only 2 goals within within equalising, and eventually you might get that second chance. But Astral again, look how much space he's got. He's somehow conspire not to score it, but Nolly will put it away. Very, very weird play there, but it's 4-1.
I mean, after shooting wide of that, potentially going for the double to be a bit cheeky, but it doesn't end up paying off. Instead, that left post is gently kissed by Nolly, able to bend it round into the center of the net. And a minute and a half with 3 goals separating SMPR from just an overtime. KC looking very poised to win the first match.
And they look the better team as well, looking very, very comfortable. It's going to have to be a big comeback right now in the last 1 minute and 18 seconds or so. And you've got to say, Stumpy, that 4-1 is fair based on how this one has gone. KC are spacing out better. Their passes are more incisive. Their touches, they seem to know what they're doing with them more each time. SMPR, they're relying on these little dribbles and occasional passes. Nice. It can work, though. They have to make things happen, and that's how they do it.
Beautiful play. Look at Exotic whip around that ball. Short set immediately going in for one demo. Instead, Exotic takes on the reins. And Casio whipping it high, air dribbling it into a fantastically open blue net. Halving that goal lead. Only 2 now standing between them and an overtime. And brilliant mechanical play from SMPR.
These new teams, they can suddenly turn it on, and Shorset can suddenly turn it on as well, coming from the ceiling, faking Itachi. Saw him coming. Now here's Exotic keeping the pressure on. Casio's going to turn. I think he's going to go for this one. He is. Beats Nolly to the ball straight up. Exotic couldn't arrive quite in time there to beat Astral. But SMPR, it seems, suddenly have upped their pace entirely. Itachi's racing to get there. His touch is only as far as Casio. 35 seconds remaining. SMPR knocking on the door.
Great rush defense from KC to keep the ball out, however, as Astral just wants to try and keep it in that orange half as hard as he can. Itachi and Nolly both going for that ball, but Nolly intelligently turning back around, realizes Itachi is going to be closer to it. Bumped out of the way this time. Shortset with a shot just wide of target. Instead goes to the 50 with Itachi in that back third. A pass from Shortset to go central. Exotic shooting. Nolly pushed to the right-hand side. The final 10 sees very little chance for SMPR.
Yeah, Astral might maybe even able to get a fifth here with a couple of little touches in the center of the pitch. It won't happen, but 4-2 will be more than good enough for Karmine Corp to take the first game in this cup right now, as 2 of them commit to get that save. Shortset, can he get them something for the road? No, he cannot. And Karmine Corp weather something of a storm to take game 1.
That's the first in a best of 5 as well in the DCS Spring Cup. Great start for Karmine Corp, where questions will be raised, and they always are raised, about an Astral with a new team, where he's looking to say, look, this is the one that's going to take me to the next level. Dropping Stake was quite a big statement from them, but clearly feeling confident right now.
They were given so much space, though. I mean, SMPR Esports, their defending at times was not what you expect to see at this level, as you can see in the replay package here. So many chances, Orb, that Karmine Corp had. I mean, we all predicted correctly so far.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot to keep track of. I'm glad you guys are holding it down while I try to browse through all the other team streams. And we want to mention it yet again. Team streams for every matchup that you're not able to watch here on the main stage. We had Luminosity versus SK Gaming. That's a 3-2 to Luminosity. The BDS game just started. It got a little late. BDS immediately scored against Wolves. Evil Genius 2.
Your t-shirt.
Evil Genius 2-0. EG winning that one. Endpoint winning, or currently, 3-1. That is concluded. 3-1 to Endpoint. And Dignitas 1-0 against Solari right now. I also checked out Moist Critical's, because Moist Esports. We want to keep in line of what's happening. And it's so awesome to see so many people in his chat who are probably people that are watching Rocket League for the first time, and they're loving it.
I've just turned it on as well, and I've just seen that it's the 3 guys, including Charlie, Moist Critical, sitting in the middle, just on a sofa in their offices, just enjoying it. And chat are just saying, they're really good at Rocket League.
They've got a lot to see. And Stumpy, while you were watching Moist Critical, I was too busy watching this series right here, watching this game. And Astral gets a very, very early lead for Karmine Corp. More struggles when being too close to each other for SMPR Esports. Not quite figured out that close game just yet. Itachi, he's trying to dive across Shorset. Almost managed to as well. But that's better from Exotic. Just giving a little bit of space, making sure that they're reading Karmine Corp's touches. Because this is a team that are going to want to be expansive with the ball. They're going to want to buy themselves some time and space and then show off their mechanics like Karmine Corp. And if you can make the most of that against them, then you'll be doing okay.
It's going to be such an exciting team to see how they end up linking up. Very Moist-esque in a way. That's going to be a hard one for everybody. Everyone's going to find it tough. It's going to be one of those teams where when they can link up mechanically, they will do stuff that we never thought possible in Rocket League. And we all hope that does happen as Nolly takes to the skies up for 1. The second comes in, but Exotic, the in and out save, only finds Astral 2 committing to that ball, but SureSet with the save, getting those echoes of game number 1, but so far hasn't been too bad with the double commits.
Good discipline from Itachi there as well. I was wondering if he'd venture forward just a little bit to offer Astral a pass. It would have been very risky, considering Nolly was rotating back, but shows that Karmine Corp are happy to grind out a closer victory rather than try and bring fire and brimstone and kill their opponents straight away. They know they can just keep eking away at these defenses. SMPR with nowhere really to go. Exotic dribbles as far as Itachi, who gets in the way a couple of times. It's a good play from SureSet, dribbling past, and then Casio helps him out. So slightly better there from SMPR Esports. We still need to see more from them, though, as SureSet dives across his goal. Now he's got boost and the ball. Can he do anything with it to give SMPR a go? He's twirling in the air, making Astral and Nolly make the decision. It's Astral that takes it away and then gets a second all-important touch.
Casio, though, whiffing again. We saw an error from him to have the first goal in game number 1. So hopefully he can tighten those up a little bit. It's still the first one with a brand new teammate, but still, I don't think it's going to be down to Exotic to try and cover up those shortcomings. Oh, gosh.
It's an orb update.
Orb news. Orb news.
That is right. It is an orb update. I just want to let the people know that Moist Esports just won in overtime. A 2:47 overtime, I believe. Hard fought, but Moist is the winner.
Nice.
Record. Never
Starting.
lost a game in competitive Rocket League, have Moist Esports.
We love that. That's brilliant. What a start for that org. If anybody wants to go and check out what is happening over on Moist or any of these streams, you can do so by just Googling the team and then Twitch stream. But otherwise, we've seen 2 goals come in, giving SMPR the lead. The first one coming from an error, and the second one just from Casio, going for a straight-up outspeed of the man on the goal line.
Yeah, Casio getting them both as well. You somewhat softly called him out, Stumpy, a little bit as being a little bit too quiet in this series so far. And it seems like
he was
heard
making
because
sheer
suddenly-
errors.
He was. Well, there you go. I mean, I was wording it slightly more nicely, but you want to be the mean one. You can be the mean one. I guess it's now okay to say that after the fact. Now he's banged in a couple. Suddenly
Before
Casio
the
is
fact.
all right, Stumpy, look, if you want to change history, then you can change history.
You're making
okay?
errors.
Here he is again. Oh, I think Casio's really good, no matter what you think. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Right. Do you see what you've done there? Do you see what you've spoken into existence?
I've over-egged him, haven't I?
You've over-egged him. You've passed it down, which actually, theoretically, isn't too bad. So then went to Exotic to see that there was a player barreling down on him. He should have just sent that up the side wall, because then the shot couldn't have come in. But instead, that's going to be an equalising goal for SMPR alongside KC here on a beautiful, bubbly Aquadome.
Oh, I love having Aquadome back. Makes me so happy. Nolly almost makes his team happy there. Pushing that one through. More clear-cut chances for Karmine Corp. Despite SMPR getting a couple of quick-fire goals, there has definitely been more pressure to the team that are currently playing in blue. Nolly goes for a double tap and gets it. Exotic, though, knew that he was capable of reading that one. And that one's going to come into the centre. Casio, Stumpy's man.
Wide. Oh, he's touched it. He's touched it. He's got it in. He's snuck it around the post. Great clear from him as well to see that avenue is going to be even slightly available. Astro giving that ball an incredibly wide berth. Knows it's going to be a post bounce, but so awkward to read. Instead, Casio has to be the one to touch it off that goal line. Actually bounces it out perfectly, because I think KC would have had it covered in any other way. And that is also going to be the SMPR lead for them.
Yeah, that would have been a horrible read there. Nolly was on the goal line as well. Just had to watch it bounce over his car. Not fun at all, but still plenty of time for Karmine Corp to get back into it. Credit to SMPR. I think it's fair to say they're not playing at their best, but they are grinding out goals. And you're not always going to play flawless Rocket League. You still have to take your chances. Actually goes high. Casio, all sorts of involved now after his hat-trick. Gets one touch, goes for the second one, but Astral gets it over him. It does, in the end, fall to a SMPR player. I think it was Exotic. Now SureSet can come into the attack as well. Suddenly, SMPR, they're finding each other with these attacks. It's not quite precise passing, but they're just following up on the KC challenges.
There's still nice defense from KC as well, where you see Itachi multiple times there, had a shot against him. He didn't just try and boom it back central where a SMPR player was waiting. He would gently touch it to the corner, and you'd already see Astral or Nolly following up on his movement. Having those chances and that teamwork so early on is going to be absolutely vital. And Itachi passing again. Chance for a long shot, but Astral gets his nose to it. Can Casio wrap round? He does manage to get around one, but not the second. Nolly able to block that one away. Under a minute remaining and a SMPR lead.
SureSet and Nolly challenge into this one, and it's Itachi. The ball just squeezes out to a couple of touches on the side. Now he wants to beat Cassio. He does. Shorset, though, saw it coming. So much experience from Semper. They know when these potential awkward moments are occurring. Exotic is going to be able to finish Shorset's good work. And that's a Team Semper goal.
That slow down from Exotic. He sends it up and then just waits because he knows Astro has to jump to avoid Shorset. Really well-timed. Exotic showing off exactly what he can do when he threatens that final defender. 2 goals separating these teams now.
Exotic's going to fly into this one with Itachi, but Itachi wins it. There could be a nice passing play here onto the backboard. Exotic, brilliant defending from him, keeping this lead to 2, and then huge clearances from Semper. Once they get that monkey off their back, the first game, they all feel so much more relaxed. Shorset to the ceiling. He's been using the ceiling plays a lot so far this series, and Cassio and Exotic, to their credit, reading them well. Knowing what Shorset is doing when he can surprise so many of his opponents. 10 seconds left. And at this point, it just looks like Semper are going to just keep defending, send that ball away, and hopefully find themselves to a 2-goal game. Very, very good play in the end, despite a second slow start from Semper Esports.
Yeah, and they gave up more goals than they needed to, realistically, as well. One of them certainly could have been avoided, but still having a 2-goal difference, really good, and certainly a different game plan to what we were seeing in game number 1 as well. You know how we were talking about old names earlier on, Cole, in Rocket League? The substitute for Semper is Sebadam.
Sebadam! Oh,
Good for him! Anybody who knows and inevitably loves Sebadam from back in the day, years and years ago, he's just hanging out and having these old players just chilling out. It's brilliant. We love that.
Speaking of old people.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, first, no. We're not going to, no. You're going to have to do that one again, Cole. You're going to have to do that one.
Speaking of cool people that we like very much that may or may not be called Sebadam.
Me?
Oh.
I have been called many things, but not that. Listen, the Dodger Spring Cup, it is in full force. Okay, there is so much to keep track of. We had Luminosity beating out SK Gaming in game number 2 4-0. So Luminosity seems to be steamrolling SK Gaming a bit, if I do dare say so myself. We had BDS with Seiko versus Wolves 4-1 in their first game. What else did we got? Moist Esports currently up 3-1 against BS Competition in their game 2. Let's see what else we got. Dignitas versus Solari currently 1-1 in game number 2. Endpoint versus Wild 3-2. Winner is Endpoint in match number 2.
I just love seeing the scores come in, seeing the results fly in.
You love that in football as well.
Exactly. It reminds me of Saturday 3 p.m. watching other leagues in real sport. But anyway, we're here watching virtual sport, and Semper are virtually doing better now.
Now, they're also physically doing better, in fairness. And I like how you avoided just saying league football, like a brand. I'm impressed that you dodged it so fantastically. But Semper, yeah, getting that early lead. Again, they scored so early on in that second game too, and it just gives them another chance to, theoretically, have a bit of a nightmare on the back line, and it only takes them to even. But otherwise, they're in the lead. But Nolly, look at that push down, going low with the flip reset. Just then starting not to work, and Semper with Cassio shooting once, does ignore that second one, goes for the bump instead. Just Wi-Fi Shorset. First 30 seconds have absolutely belonged to Semper.
Yeah, completely. They are just giving KC so much space, defending deep, letting KC come up against them, and then just booming it clear. And it's working. I feel like they're frustrating Karmine Corp, who are trying to play this beautiful, expansive style of Rocket League, and good for them. But when it's not working, you got to see if you can grind out a victory the way Semper have been doing. That's better. Astral flying in. Could be an equalizer here, but Exotic at the far post. Had it covered, I think. And again, great defending from one of the 3 Frenchmen. Semper just can't be beaten at the moment.
Yeah, Exotic really nicely placed on that goal line too. And a lovely touchdown from Cassio, able to get the pass over towards Shorset. Itachi in the air. Does take the ball. Not to anywhere important, however. Instead it goes to Cassio. Straight back to that or inside. And the redirect from Itachi completely bamboozles the back line of Semper.
Yeah, it's old habits for Semper there from their first game. Double committing and rushing at things a little bit. That's when Karmine Corp can do what they want to do and just bit the ball around you. And Nolly was in the end of that lovely pass there into the center. And it's 1-1. Karmine Corp seems to have weathered the storm somewhat. Semper get themselves an early lead, but lose it. They'll set now onto the back wall. Astral tackles in, shows his speed to get past Cassio. Only one left. There's a pass in the center. It's Itachi. That would have been absolutely flawless had it worked. and it was so close.
I wonder why Astral still went for that pass, because there were 2 players ready to defend it. Theoretically, his better idea was go for the solo, draw at least one in, and then go for the pass if available. Instead, it doesn't really matter too much, but Astral just potentially thinking of one plan and just sticking to it even when the circumstances change.
Yeah, it could be the case. But no harm done. And there he is now, pre-jumping there. Wants to get a second touch. Does he have the reset? No, not quite. I think he faked having the reset to make Exotic rush. To tackle the falls to where's that pinch going? Casio gets it all the way into the corner from absolutely nowhere.
Flying from that back line, Casio slings it, finds the top left, and there is nothing Astral is able to do. Brilliant placement. You don't see them going in very often, and when you do, it harkens back to the days of Cuxit.
We talked about frustration on the side of Karmine Corp and how they'd maybe broken through it, but that goal from Semper's going to bring it right back, but they could undo all that Semper work here with Nolly coming from the ceiling. Has no boost, but steals 100. Potentially a bit of boost starvation for Semper, but they're both in the air, so again, no harm done. It's Itachi up against Exotic. Really important part of this third game right now. Is that a fake? It was, but Astral, he was aware and he got the save.
Yeah, definitely a fake then. I love the idea by Exotic because he knows that Nolly has to cover his touch, otherwise that ball is going in, so he goes for the high percentage play. Really intelligent. I'm loving seeing Exotic just really start to get engaged with this series and seeing just how much he wants to control it.
Casio just bumping poor old Nolly about 17 times there. Just when Nolly seemed to reassert himself on the pitch, he was just nudged again by Casio. He's flying in from the side. Still wanted to be involved, Casio. It was good to see that after his slow start. Really seems to be calling for the ball a lot more in this team. Astral, he'll always call for the ball. He'll flick it over the top as well. Tachi has a pass in the center, which is Nolly, if he can get it round to him. More confident defending there from Semper Esports. Shorset goes down the line. His dribble stumpy have been effective, Shorset, in this series. Whether it's going to the ceiling or keeping it low, it's been a good weapon for Semper.
Yeah, I think Semper have definitely got a big range of attacks that they can use realistically against that KC back line, but they haven't worked every single time, and I like that they do just keep, every now and then, they will change it up, but otherwise they'll stick to old reliable players. They'll look at Shorset to be trying to be as mechanical as he can be. Nolly going for double taps as well on the other side of things, time and time again. Seeing some of these players just use what they know they can do so incredibly well. And Nolly really is trying to go for those double taps as much as he humanly can.
Well, he got that famous double tap for Singularity in their first season in the RLCS, did Nolly, from the tight angle. So he scored some good goals, it's fair to say, but he needs one here in the next 1 minute and 2 seconds. That ball's going nowhere, and Exotic had the read on it anyway. Shorset with help from Itachi. Gets it over back to the blue half of the pitch. Casio could beat Astral here. He does. Nolly, lovely touch, good control, good dribbling as well. Then he gets it over the top. This is where he can be effective, but Exotic with another brilliant read, showing some great defense. KCorp going for so many of these double taps though, but are they too easy to read?
I don't know. I reckon when one of them goes on target, the Semper back line will just be completely caught out. Both players, Nolly and Astral, giving up on that ball, calling each other onto it. But realistically, one of them just should have taken charge and carried on. Nolly receiving one pass from Itachi. Falls to Shorset to save it. Instead, Astral able to try and snipe. Casio, rather, being able to send it away instead. Passing onto the backboard. Now Itachi in the midfield. Final 10 seconds. They need a goal, otherwise it is series point.
Nolly has maybe one more chance to get this into the center. Needs to get the second touch. He does. It's past Exotic for once. Itachi is the recipient, and Karmine Corp do have their equalizer.
Nolly with a nail in the coffin goes underneath 2 players and then bumps the final man on Semper. Itachi has the easiest job in the world there, and you cannot mug that one up. 4 seconds until we see an overtime. Well deserved by KC.
KC, they tried the same thing about 7 times. Finally it worked, the last attempt of all. And it's looking like it's going to take them into overtime, unless Shorset one touch and the second one. Oh, but what a save that was. I think it was Itachi.
Everyone's going. Everyone feels it. We are having a monstrous series right now. KC just trying to play for that next game so then they can bring it up to 2-1 in favor of themselves. Nolly in the sky with one flip reset. Doesn't manage to get the pass Shorset instead. Astral able to receive it in the midfield. Casio and Exotic committing together but doesn't cause any issues. Instead, you see Itachi alongside Astral.
Yeah, but it scares me so much in defense when Exotic is that close to Shorset, who had it covered. That could be their downfall, Semper Esports, if they keep making that mistake. But wasn't to be on that occasion. Now here's Astral. He can force a mistake from the opponents, but just makes one of his own there, bouncing off that side wall. Nolly booms it forward. KC just wanted to get some territory for now. It's a lovely touch, actually, towards Astral, but again, just doesn't quite work out. And look at the pre-jumps. SMPR Esports know exactly what KC are trying here.
Yeah, I mean, that pass from Nolly as well, I think that's a really clever idea. He saw Astral completely unguarded on that left wall and goes for the pass to him instead of just going high to himself. But it got caught out by a pre-jump. A good demo from Casio. Revenge towards Atomic. Sorry, Itachi, rather. Where did Atomic come from?
Exotic, Atomic. They sound
Exotic,
similar.
that's the one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just still so enamored with North America.
Yeah, G2. Good team. Anyway, we'll move on to them next week. For now, it's Exotic in the corner. Itachi's been beating all ends up there. What's he doing? Casio just lets the ball bounce on him. Tries to lob it over the top, but that's a good touch from Nolly. End-to-end stuff right now. Boomable is in play. All six of these players trying to be a little bit more safe, but still the double commits come in. Exotic is the recipient of so many of these, but it's somehow worked out. SMPR take the overtime.
That's not allowed! That is not allowed to be able to do that. Look at the sheer double commit. Astral doesn't even consider that Exotic may well still be on that ball, and yet delivers a dagger to the net of KC. That is SMPR going up 2-1. One more, and they proceed through this bracket, and they strip KC of one of their lives.
Orb, let me tell you something, mate. If you're, looking to get into Rocket League yourself, don't look at what Exotic's done just there and think, yeah, if my teammate's going for the ball, I will too. It always works out. Because it doesn't, Orb. It doesn't. That's not how it's meant to be. that's not right.
Listen, you miss all the shots you don't take, right? So you gotta go for it, right?
If Gregan was here with you right now, he would give you a 7-minute rant about why that's not the case and you're wrong.
Listen,
don't say that later today.
I get to have the Gregan rant, the 7-minute Gregan rant later, so it's all good. Some updates then. Okay, so Luminosity, they just swept the series. I love that whenever we have like a main stage matchup, it's always like very close. It's overtimes and it goes the distance. Luminosity 3-0 in the series. Wolves Esports, okay, they're having... They're having some improvements here. So they pushed BDS to overtime in game 2, and they're currently up 2-0 with 35 seconds to go in game number 3. So I don't know if this is this a crack into BDS shield? Is this Wolves Esports?
That's Wolves
finding the old rhythm.
That's Wolves. Who knows? That's all it is. It is Wolves, and that is what they do.
And let's see. Okay, and Moist Esports, they're currently 100% win rate. They are 3-0 in the series.
Never lost.
And they have a 100% win rate.
Never lost.
Go Moist Esports.
Wow, that's huge. Wow. That is massive. What a start. I hope that everybody on the Moist Critical channel right now is absolutely flipping their lid, because that is a very exciting time to see, hey, look, we just picked this team up, and yes, they are still sick, and they are not succumbing to the nerves.
So we're excited by the shiny new toy in RL Esports. But these guys, these orgs, these teams right here, right now, KC have got themselves a little bit of a problem, Stumpy, because they look more beautiful on the pitch. They're trying to score nicer goals. But SMPR Esports are just bullying them, and they are not falling for their tricks. KC, I feel, need to mix it up a little bit more. It's always the perfect goal they're looking for, the ideal double tap. Nothing ugly, nothing fought for, in my opinion.
I mean, I think it comes down to... I think KC are trying a lot of different things, and I really, really enjoy looking at that. And I think it mainly comes down to how well SMPR are dealing with it. They're pre-jumping everything. They are looking like Atomic in the grand finals versus Kato, of now Moist Esports. Like, he was pre-jumping in game 6 of that, just time and time again, and it shut them down. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing SMPR do. And it's something that is going to be learned. These pre-jumps are absolutely vital. So long as you have somebody behind you ready, just in case you miss, or the opponent goes low instead of high, whatever it ends up being, then pre-jumps are brilliant. And Exotic wiping Astral off the face of the earth twice.
They'll keep doing what they're doing, will KC, but SMPR will do the same. Astral sends that one out wide. Nolly is up there. His clearance only as far as Casio, so the SMPR squeeze is beginning to occur. Starting to get a bit more of this territory and pressure. Casio has a passable Chaussette, but Chaussette wisely decides against it to keep the attack going the slow way. Exotic only finds Nolly. Chaussette just happy to let him dribble for a second and then tackle him. Not let him gain any territory back. Finally, Astral breaks through. Here's Itachi. But Chaussette again defends so darn well for SMPR. KC just having nothing in the final third.
Yeah, KC just keep getting shut down in the midfield. Again, it's either by those pre-jumps or it's by the fact that they are just being blocked somewhere on the floor. Chaussette destroying Nolly again. Those demos becoming ever more prevalent. on the side of SMPR, trying to take out as many KC players as they can. Nolly central towards Astral, but beaten out. Casio taking the initiative and flying face first at that ball.
Karmine Corp have slightly adapted their playstyle. They're going for more booms and then following up the ball, trying to dare SMPR to make a mistouch, like potentially that one from Chaussette. That is the KC plan in action. Didn't quite work there, but eventually they feel it will. A brilliant dunk from Nolly, and Itachi's in for a freebie.
Excellent, excellent positioning from Nolly there. Ends up just challenging Exotic on the side and then continues to boost and goes in front of where Chaussette is sending it so calculatedly that Itachi, once again by the hand of Nolly, just has to tap it in.
Place your bets, everybody. Is uglily or calculatedly a better word? I am truly curious because I genuinely love them both. Is Casio over the top? A couple of wall dashes I think he did there just to get himself some pace, but still not able to quite reach the ball. And Astral sends it long. They know the game plan works. Nolly's still going for those double taps of beauty. It was bumped in the sky. Here's Itachi. He rolls up. Oh, he actually waits for the boost. Smart play from Itachi, but it might backfire here. Astral has to send it long, and Exotic on his way back gets a great touch there. So things not quite working out for either team, but nice ideas all round.
Chance there for Astral to doink over one of the defenders to get it in, and a pinch nearly going the way of KC this time. Instead, Casio wants to be the only man remembered for that in this series. Itachi challenging Exotic in the midfield. It's 144, and a touch coming in from Casio to get some pressure going. Exotic on the relatively open there. Itachi has to dive in front to get anything, and he is unable to.
Yeah, it was great play there from Exotic. He knew he couldn't beat Itachi to the ball, so instead he used Itachi's touch and just tried to guide it home. SMPR Esports grind out yet another goal. Karmine Corp can't keep their lead. And SMPR Esports 1 minute and 38 seconds away. They can just get one more goal. That could be the end of this best of 5. Remember, double elimination format. Whoever loses this has just 1 life remaining in the entire tournament. So important to win. Itachi might be able to keep Karmine Corp in it, but Chaussette not just gets the save, but also gets a few more little bites of that cherry as he gets rid of the attacker afterwards. The mistake was almost made there, but Chaussette, thankfully for SMPR, was back. Astral jumping off that side wall, ends up pitching it into the corner. Just patient defending here from SMPR Esports, not trying to race Karmine Corp to the ball, letting them have it, knowing they can clear it, but it can backfire if they get beaten just once, and Astral could be the key in doing that.
The Exotic on the other side of things is phenomenal. So far, the new pickup for SMPR has put forward an 80% goal participation so far in this series. He's had 4 goals and he's had 4 assists. He has been everywhere and has been absolutely vital to SMPR's success so far.
It's difficult to step in the shoes of Archie, but Exotic is showing that he has every chance of doing that. But to do so, you have to win series like this one. It's all well and good playing well, all well and good wrestling the initiative away from your opponent, but you have to get that sweet, sweet victory. Exotic is trying to make it happen now, but he's beaten by Astral. Chaussette's coming in. Casio is all the way back home, just in case pinches like this happen. This is Casio's job. He's not going to get there in time. Astral gets it high. This is still so dangerous. It could be one hit by KC. Exotic, yet another touch in defense. It's not just that goal participation. It's also the key touches he's made when Karmine are attacking themselves.
The final couple of seconds, it's a SMPR push. It's Nolly backflipping to get that ball away and touched down in the end by Exotic. We have overtime. One more goal is going to be seeing SMPR go through to face off against Moist Esports in our upper quarterfinals, and they will be sending KC to the lowers. But KC, they do not want that early, especially with this newfound roster.
Let's get ourselves a game 5 to start off this first regional. That is what the world wants to see. The Dacia Spring Cup. Chaussette with an awkward touch to the back wall. Astral contemplates going up there, but instead leaves it for Itachi. Good play. Itachi now. Can he cause some pandemonium in that SMPR defense, which has been so solid all the way up to now? No, he can't. Good touch from Astral. Casio steaming in, though. Itachi's on that back wall, and he just wants to slow things down for a second. Good play again from Itachi. He seems to be the player, to me, from Karmine Corp, that's most likely to just influence the game.
Minute has passed, and yet again, looking at what SMPR can do on that opposition side, you'd expect them to have maybe had a chance of scoring so far, but it's been shut down by KC. Good bump in the back line from Nolly, but with this push from SMPR going on, Astral has to save away. Exotic rip-roaring a shot towards net. Again, a shot from Chaussette, saved away by Itachi with 0 boost. He has to push up against that new man. Sure set not able to receive that ball. Instead does get the 100 mid boost, fakes one out. That back corner taken. Cassio with a mispositioning. KC can push.
Almost in there for Nolly. Exotic had missed. When he makes mistakes, they seem to be punished, like at the end of the last game. But he gets so many good touches. His shot set onto the backboard himself. Astral reads it all the way. More brilliant defense from Astral right there. He got a great save earlier, and there was the second one. And now his teammate Itachi can storm down that line. Exotic does his best to get in his way, and then Nolly gets in. Exotic gets past them both. That will clear up some space. Astral has to win this. He does, but who's going to be next to the ball? It's sure set. To the back ball he goes. Read by Itachi. Lots and lots of good, important defensive touches here from both teams, and keeping this one at a stalemate so far.
Itachi's ability to slow this ball down time and time again is absolutely instrumental. He is changing the pace of this play, and look at him now, up in the sky, completely on his own, does send the ball painstakingly far away, however. With Nolly trying to challenge on that back. Waller then forced a short set with Astro, just trying to find his angle to nip in, and it just can't find it. With Nolly sending it leftward. Itachi left completely open, and it just skims the top left corner.
Oh, so close. Itachi was just waiting to see if both SMPR defenders were going to miss. Once they did, he had to get some more momentum on his car because he wasn't certain it was going to happen. I mean, he couldn't get the angle, but he got so close. It was a lovely pass across the middle. But that chance is gone. They have to make another one to Karmine Corp.
Almost
Nolly.
like an impossible pass. The fact that they made it and a pinch.
It's in! Oh. SMPR! A pinch out of nowhere yet again, and they are going to take this series by 3-1.
Nothing but pinch merchants over on SMPR Esports, taking their first series over Karmine Corp 3-1. They will be moving through to face off against Moist Esports in the upper quarterfinals. Former case, so if you have just joined us. But wow, Exotic fits on that roster well.
He does.
Oh my God.
That's like, I loved seeing that contrast of styles, Orb. That is, to me, the best sort of Rocket League. When one team are doing one thing, another are playing in a complete different way, and you just see them try and argue and wrestle over which way is better.
Well, I mean, you can argue all you want, but at the end of the day, there's a winner, and there's going to be a non-winner. Can we